Everybody was kung fu fighting.
Number 1 spot on the list, Xabi Alonso was brutally tackled by Nigel de Jong during the 2010 World Cup final. After little over a quarter of the game had passed, de Jong unleashed a brutal karate kick tackle that struck Spain's Xabi Alonso in the chest. Hitting your boot up against your chest, that's vicious. For that, did you believe he should have been sent off or the yellow card given to him was enough? As he stated in an interview following the insane tackle, he was fortunate to still be on the field. After a vicious foul that nearly resulted in Luke Hamilton's head being severed during a rugby match, Fritz Lee was sent off. Although Northland appeared to be in the lead following a brilliant counterattack that set up Hamilton, Lee's trailing left arm nearly beheaded Hamilton. That was one of the most brutal tackles ever in rugby. It was thoughtless of him to nearly decapitate him. He was sent off and received a 3-week suspension. Terrible tackle on Messi by Manu Trigueros during a Villarreal vs Barcelona game. Villarreal loses a player as they go 10 men into the remainder of the match after Manu Trigueros runs his studs up the Argentines' legs during a La Liga match between Barcelona and Villarreal. Manu Trigueros received a straight red card as a result of the horrific tackle.
That's wow. That will be a flagrant.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Number 4 spot on the list, Kentavious Caldwell-Pope of the Lakers was brutally fouled by New York Knicks forward Bobby Portis. In the second quarter, with the Lakers leading 39-30, KCP drove in the direction of the hoop but was stopped by the trailing Portis forearm. During the action, the headband of the Lakers guard came off when the Knicks forward struck Caldwell-Pope in the head. Do you believe he went after the ball or that was his deliberate action? He was ejected from the game after making an aggressive tackle.
Larue can get through this gap now. Whoa! Tuilagi.
Alassana Tuilagi, a Samoan winger, received a straight red card for a high tackle on Jean de Villiers. Tuilagi struck de Villiers with a stiff arm. He made a tackle that struck the box center's face during the Quad Series final in Pretoria. The game was won 56-23 by the Springboks. For his tackle, he received a straight red card. What action should the referee have taken, in your opinion, or did he truly deserve to be sent off?
And it's tipped to the corner, play by Barbosa.
The Phoenix Suns and San Antonio Spurs Game 4 playoff series was decided by Robert Horry's historic hip check on Steve Nash in the 2007 playoffs. The Phoenix Suns were ahead 100-97 at the end of the fourth quarter. When Steve Nash attempted to surge forward with the ball, Robert brutally tackled him by hip checking him to the sideline, causing him to tumble. This led to a brawl between the two teams, though. Andres Doglioli's dirty challenge to the female referee. Andres surprisingly tackling referee Maria Beatrice Benvenuti from behind. Rangers Rugby Vicenza captain Andres Doglioli caused whiplash to the 23-year-old official. Surprisingly, Doglioli only received a yellow card, but the club later suspended him and banned him for 3 years. That was a really shady move on his part. Why did he think he needed to do that?
As Haaland ran past him, Keane lunged in with a fierce tackle, injuring himself in the process.
In a Manchester Derby game, Roy Keane gave Alf Holland a horrific tackle. The United captain slammed his studs into Holland's leg with overwhelming force. Holland's knee never recovered, and the following season, he only made 4 substitute appearances before being forced to retire at the age of 30. The incident resembled a direct retaliation for what Alf had done to him years before. Keane's horrific tackle on Holland earned him a fine of $5,000 and a suspension of 3 matches.
It's all in perspective now. Nobody said anything about...
Two-handed stick attack on Ryan Hallweg of the New York Rangers by Chris Simon, a player of the New York Islanders. Simon leveled Hallweg with a stick strike. As a result, he received a penalty and ejected from the game, giving the Rangers the advantage and a 2-1 victory. Chris Simon, the Islanders player, was given an indefinite suspension by the NHL for the rough hit on Hallweg.
Watch the left hand around the neck.
Right to that left hand, and he throws him down. The frustration foul right there for Jason Kidd.
Jason Kidd flagrantly fouled Jannero Pargo of New Orleans. Kidd was sent off for a flagrant foul in a 2008 playoff game against the Hornets for flipping Jannero Pargo. The play occurred when Kidd flipped Pargo to the ground with 7:16 remaining in the game. That's crazy from him because Pargo might have fallen on his head. He was taken out of the game but not suspended. Do you believe he should have received a harsher sentence?
Dat scheelde niet veel. Oela. Wasilewski, Witsel.
Brutal tackle on Marcin Wasilewski happened during a Standard Liège versus Anderlecht League game. Witsel was the first to reach the ball, after which a sliding tackle was received from Wasilewski. Witsel then challenged Wasilewski and planted his studs squarely on his leg. Wasilewski writhed on the pitch, crying out in agony. For the horrific tackle, he was issued a straight red card and suspended for 8 days.
With that line speed, he came up off the line. Got a good tackling on Servat, who's a big man to take down.
In the first half of the 2011 Rugby World Cup semi-final match against France, Wales legend Sam Warburton was infamously awarded a red card for a tackle on Vincent Clerc. At Eden Park in the 18th minute, Welsh captain Sam Warburton lifted the French winger Vincent Clerc off his feet with a tip tackle. The Wales team had 14 players left for the duration of the match after he was sent off for the incident.
They're going to clear. Evans is going to get down there first. The net is empty. Can he tuck it in? He does.
Jake Evans was given a brutal hit by Mark Scheifele during a Montreal versus Winnipeg Jets game. Evans wrapped around the defense and scored into an empty Jets net with 56.9 seconds left in the game to give Montreal a 1-goal lead. Upon doing so, Scheifele slid full speed into him, tucking his right arm into his torso and collided with Evans. Evans smacked his right side of the head first when he tumbled hard onto the ice. He was stretched off the pitch. Mark was sent off and received a 4-game suspension.
Eduardo into space. Tackled by Taylor, who showed studs.
Brutal tackle by Taylor on Eduardo. During an English Premier League game between Birmingham and Arsenal, Taylor brutally tackled Eduardo, placing his studs on his ankle and fracturing his left fibula, dislocating his ankle in the process. The Croatian international was sidelined for several months as a result of the tackle. Do you think that what was intentional?
Then Desumu's got it, hits the trailer, Caruso, and a hard foul on Grayson.
Following this horrific foul on Alex Caruso, Grayson Allen was ejected from the game. During the third quarter of the NBA game between the Milwaukee Bucks and Chicago Bulls, with 5 minutes and 45 seconds remaining, Alex Caruso was moving forward with the ball in an attempt to make a 2-point shot when Allen ripped him to the ground on a fast break. As a result, Alex suffered a fractured right wrist and Grayson was ejected the field. Number 16 spot on the list. During the game, Washington Capitals star forward Alex Ovechkin brutally fouled defenseless Brian Campbell, crashing him, flying into the boards and breaking his collarbone. Additionally, the NHL penalized him for 3 games.
He goes in with his boot raised high.
During Saturday's match between Manchester City and Liverpool, Sadio Mane received a red card for a high challenge. Just outside the home team's penalty box, Sadio Mane and Ederson had both sprinted to meet a through pass in behind the City defense. Sadio Mane's elevated foot then caught Ederson, forcing his studs to strike Ederson straight in the face.
Artest drives and finishes. We have a Laker crowd.
Number 18 spot on the list, James Harden's head was elbowed by Meta World Peace. In the second quarter of an Oklahoma City versus Lakers game, right away, Peace made a 2-point shot. He went directly near James Harden and elbowed him in the face. He is making a dirty challenge with that. He got ejected out of the match.
Rose up the middle. Rose is on his way around. Picked up by Otis. Rose is coming to the plate. Goes the throw. He's in. It's all over. The National League wins.
Diving into another brutal act carried out by athletes. In 1970, Pete Rose, an outfielder for the Reds, runs into Ray Fosse to score the winning run. The Cincinnati Reds' Sparkplug scored the game-winning run in the National League's dramatic 5-4 comeback triumph over the American League after Rose viciously bowled over Fosse at home plate. He suffered a shoulder injury.
Bush League things I've ever seen in a game. That's disgusting.
Amen to that. Amen to that.
Last spot on the list. In a game between the Los Angeles Lakers and Dallas Mavericks, Andrew Bynum severely fouls J.J. Barea. Jay Barea had the ball and was going for a 2-point jumper in the fourth quarter of the game when Andrew Bynum viciously fouled him with his elbow, sending him sprawling to the ground. Bynum was sent out of the match. He was suspended for 5 games and was also fined. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video and want to see more exciting sports content, smash the like button, subscribe, and leave a comment below.